Hello there, and welcome to sketching with Jeff. That is me, and today we're just going to draw a few things here that I enjoy to draw, which is primarily figure drawing. So I do love drawing the figure and primarily characters of a vibrant sort of status being. I like to draw a lot of super heroes because they're just so wonderfully flamboyant and fun. And I mean, in the pop culture scene right now, that is primarily what we're seeing. And at this point, I can't really complain because a lot of the movies are, well, they're in fact good. So I'll go to see them, and I will enjoy watching them. So without further ado, here we're just going to start sketching. And I must say that I don't really have a particular plan with this drawing. It's really just for the fun of it, and we're just going to start sketching and maybe see what comes of it here. So if you'll just bear with me here. Yeah. Just sort of getting in the basics of the overall figure here, just to demonstrate the overall body proportions. And if we're actually going to go far here and just actually create something unique, we'll just sort of see what happens with it here. But try my best to stay focused in drawing something that is decent, but overall it's for the I guess the overall experience of just having a nice relaxing time, just drawing something kind of random and fun overall. So yeah. Like already, I don't really know what I'm doing here, but we'll see. Something just fairly simple to start out, I believe. Let's get some pelvic bones in there. Nice hip. Let's put through just a leg in there. One that's kind of more straight here. Maybe he's kind of doing the Captain Morgan pose here on something. But yeah, just getting your muscles in, and all the quirks of the human body that a lot of comic book artists are just so good at accentuating these parts of the body that are really unique and show action in a really fantastic way. So he's maybe vowing, he's clenching his fist here, perhaps, that he'll one day defeat his villain or someone. Yeah. There, he's making some kind of a vow. You know, he's gonna do something heroic or something. Just like my stint in Jurassic Park. It was very heroic. Yes, especially my sexy pose. I do enjoy my sexy poses. Yeah. Let's see. I'll just move it up a little bit here so we can see the legs I've drawn here. Okay. Yeah. Just to position this a bit better here. There we go. There we go. Just filling in some of the more finer details here. Give some menacing looking eyebrows. Something like that, yeah. Okay, phone, I understand you work. Yes, just put you on the side here, where you'll be less noticeable to the human ear. Yeah. I guess I'll use my easier tool here just to draw in the other arm here. I guess I should have done that before, but I did not. Let's give an outline for a rough hair design here as well. I have some messy curls or something here. That could look kind of cool, I suppose. Yeah. We'll make him sort of an 80s hero, because I'm very much a product of the 80s myself. I wasn't born in the 80s, of course, but you know, a lot of my movies were around that time. Pardon me, I'm just gonna have a quick sip of my coffee here, if you don't mind. I'm just gonna do that real quick. It's the one that says there's some serious gourmet shit. If you can actually, it's Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, I'll just place it on top of the drawing without giving a heinous coffee ring there, but it's one of my favorite overall. There we go. There's a little bit more focus there on Mr. Samuel L. Jackson there. I'm just going to move this out of the way though, and have a sip. Yeah. Very good, very good. Okay, well, back to it then. I'll have to refocus this just real quick here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And back to it. Back to the main attraction here, the main show. Okay, phone. What? I'm never usually this popular, I swear. But sometimes you just have to be social, I suppose. zoom in a bit here on the face that I'm currently working on. There we are. And there we go. Okay. Personally, I like the sound of a focusing camera. It's kind of a nice, nice sound to it. That's just me, though. Give him a nice belt here, I suppose. Or at least just the beginnings of one. There we are. Something like that. Might touch that up a bit later, but or maybe not. We'll just see, depending on my mood. One of the biggest things about being creative is a good attitude, and it's hard to maintain. You're not always in the best mood when you're trying to create. It's often frustrating, and it's very time-consuming. It takes a lot of drive to do it properly and to stick with it. It's important to stick with your passions and try your best to be exactly who you want to be. Okay, here, what do we want to do with this? Perhaps we'll have a piece of his jacket, I guess, and should it be a jacket or a costume? Not really sure at this point. Just a cool costume with a collared piece on it. Oh, pardon me. It's my bag of goodies there. You know, I think after all this, I didn't even bring a proper eraser with me. If you don't mind, I'm going to quickly just dig through my my little bag here of goodies, and I'll just straighten out the overall image here. Very good. I guess it doesn't really want to focus up on the drawing rather than just the symmetry of the sketchbook here, but here, I'll just make sure it's in focus there, and there we have it. This is actually kind of a fun noise, isn't it? It's a little bit very meaty noise. These are my drawing utensils and supplies. And yes, they're very Well, they are legion, for they are many, as they say. But I do enjoy using these pens, and I think I'm going to try to search for at least the end of a pencil that has an eraser on it, or something along those lines. Oh, that's very... You stopped already, and so is that. Oh, here's one that isn't too bad. Alright, that's not too bad. Okay, just going to put that to the side. Yes, that is a very, very meaty sound there. Okay, let's see here. Not sure if I like his jaw line area that much. Well, I might just stick to it at this point, but again, let's just zoom back in here. I keep putting it in the opposite direction first. Usually in front of the camera, not behind it. Yeah, there we go. There we are. There is fine. Okay, and obviously, again, this is just a very rough example of my drawing skills here. It's very much just a hobby at this point. I'd like to incorporate it more into my overall work, and but you know, at the moment it's fine. It's just something I like to do. It's very calming. I like certain artists, like Todd McFarlane is probably my favorite, and I'm a big fan of Jim Lee as well. They're all very accomplished and quite incredible comic book artists. They're very inspiring as well. They just seem like good people whenever they're seen interviewed. They have a lot of good insight, and they converse with their fans, and they just put their best foot forward. And Todd actually came to my hometown, and which he himself he's from, and well, maybe not Jeff, but you know, someone else. He's from the same town as someone else, I suppose. Yeah. But he came to Calgary, Alberta, and he was signing things for free, which was just a real blast. I thought that was just such a great thing to do for your fans, and it's a very modest and noble way of winning more fans, even people that didn't even know him. Perhaps they were getting something signed for a friend, and then all of a sudden then they're fans of Todd because he's such a good guy. You know, kindness rewards respect at a lot of times, and I definitely gained even more respect for the man than I previously had just as a comic book artist. So it was cool to see that. But drawing overall is a very fickle profession. For those lucky enough to actually be in it and working it, well, kudos to you. First off, it's incredibly difficult to get really good at it, and I often fluctuate between liking my drawings and well, the latter. But you know, usually I produce work that is just I find I'm okay with it, but it's not always something I love. I guess it's sort of a love-hate thing, truly. But it is, drawing it within itself, like acting, is just pure creation. It's pure creation, and as we know about creation and life, well, it finds a way. Sorry, I had to say it. Pardon me. just so we can, well, so we can have hair, plain and simply. More Superman locks there, I guess. Yeah, another artist who has really good live streams are actually, well, two artists I've already talked about, Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee. Both have quite wonderful live streams that they do, and where they just sort of teach their craft. I mean, not extensively, but Jim Lee himself has come out with several videos, and in a way has been a teacher to me and to many others on Twitch and YouTube. Just showing how they exact their professionalism, and it's really quite fascinating. Actually, they have such a definitive skill that they put forward, and it's quite wonderful. Yeah, that looks alright, I suppose. I'm just going to touch up a few areas on the hair and then move on to something else for now, I think. Yeah, it's alright. There are certain tricks that really good artists will learn that just can always make the things look the way they want them to look, and overall produce that same level of quality each and every time that they press pen or pencil. Oh my goodness, I've dropped. Oh, now I'm just bumping everything. My goodness. Okay, pardon me. Absolutely pardon. 1,000 pardons, as they say. Yep. Okay. Okay, I've just grabbed my number 1 pencil. Or sorry, not pencil. It's a pen. I've used it a lot, as you can see. The ink on the siding is beginning to rub off because I've used it so many times. But well, I'm going to continue using it until it runs out of ink, as you should. Art supplies are a little expensive. Actually, this probably has begun to run out of ink already. Sorry, I'll just move to show you exactly what I've worked on here. So just his belt there. Just added some simple lines to it. I don't think I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on it this time around, but perhaps more on the legs. I'll just move it again, and then we'll work on the legs a bit more here. So the best way to learn how to draw anatomy, and it doesn't always have to be entirely accurate, but there's actually another artist I'm a fan of, but I guess he's known for kind of ignoring anatomy at a lot of times. Rob Liefeld is a fantastic artist, but a lot of people criticize him for his work and it being kind of too outlandish and I guess ignorant of the human body. But really, when it comes to your personal art, it doesn't really matter as long as you have the style, which he obviously has, and he's created. Well, I don't know how many comic books he's actually produced, but well, quite a few. If you just search him up, and he's produced quite a few, quite a lot. I'd say it's privy to the similar amounts that both Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee have created as well. Oh goodness, now this is running out. I shouldn't have switched to this pen. That was a rookie mistake. Okay, so we're going back to the 3 here, which definitely has more ink in it, and isn't that much thicker than the 1, so it's good for what we're doing here. course, now I'm gonna need a clean line out of that. It's about as clean as it's gonna get now. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have done this with pen. Alright, well, we're just going to continue on here. I don't even know why I'm working on the legs right now, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of detail that's going to go into there. So we're going to move back onto the face here. Terrific. Okay. Do this sort of collar thing here. It's going to be kind of a funky jacket. I do enjoy funky jackets. Anyone can look snazzy in a funky jacket. Probably finish up fairly quick here. I didn't think this would take as long as it would. But drawing, it's not exactly an exact science. And well, we're just gonna kind of sit together and draw today, and see what we could do in the time allotted. It's kind of a very big forearm here. Forearms are actually very satisfying to draw. They're just one of the strongest looking parts of the body for both men and women, really, for both figures. And especially if you're drawing like a character like Wonder Woman, that's just got that beautiful feminine but physique to her, and you know, it just has all those the muscles and nice curves, and that you could draw. Again, here I'm moving away from the action, so we are going to move back up to where the focus should be, which is just right here on the hand. Looking back at this, I'm going to think, oh wow, I really spent too much time drawing off screen here. Maybe it's not the end of the world. It's a sort of a trial run of sorts, and we're just going to see if people like it. You're just going to be making fists this time around. This isn't any particular character, it's just some random, I suppose. But, yeah, hopefully it'll do, just to demonstrate that I love the craft and just like to do it. It's a lot of fun, and it's just very therapeutic, I'd say. Yeah. Alright, so this hand is a bit more shape now. Drawing some of the fingers there. Making a nice fist. And yeah. Put a bit of a crease in there. Okay, I'll move back over to the main attraction here, I suppose. I'll go on to the other hand. Is that actually on screen? Yes, that's on screen. Goodness. Lead on this, of course. Yeah, I'm running out of lead on this pencil now, too. Is that all? Is that all there was? Oh, no, there's still some more in there. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with mechanical pencils. They sometimes give me a lot of trouble. And, but it's alright overall. I'll use them. They are helpful, even though they are frustrating at times. I guess I'm not really sure what this outfit consists of. Maybe it's just a, oh no, it's giving me trouble again. Alright, well, we're just going to continue in pen and see where that takes me. But he's just going to be wearing some kind of a nice, slim-fitting road jacket of some sort, like a motorcycle suit, maybe. More detailing here in the jacket itself. The button down there. So maybe we'll just zoom out here a bit. Demonstrate more of the, there we go. Okay. Let's put some shading in here. Shading is also a very fickle thing that takes a bit to get used to. I'm still not exactly the greatest at it, as you can probably tell, but it's fine. I think, again, it's just one of those things that takes a lot of practice, and I just often put in some feathering that can look somewhat convincing, just accentuating the character's physique. And yeah, I mean, if your drawing is looking plain to you, then just always ask yourself. Then maybe, just ask yourself if it can be cooler. Just ask yourself that question. But ultimately, I like drawings that look weird, that just display a sort of personal technique of the artist, and it just shows they've had fun with it, because a lot of comic book art can look very, I don't want to say basic, but just a little boring at times. Even if they're good at drawing action, it just looks very plain, like they've just sort of done what they have to do, and they've moved on, and that can just be a little frustrating for me at times. I'm just like, I can tell that whoever's been doing the drawing has just sort of drawn what was expected of them, and they got a paycheck from it, and it's just the same with any work, really. There's always people that don't exactly give it their all, and I mean, I suppose I'm one of those people because I'm not working in the field of comic book art. But no, I have other pursuits. That's right. Other pursuits for Jeff. yeah, it's a fairly simple drawing. Like I can't say it's my best work, but it's kind of a trial run of doing this on camera, I suppose. But just definitely feels a bit different. Definitely feels a little bit different. I might also start just a little side project that goes with the channel and display some of my other finished artwork that I've worked on off camera and display that as well. But for the time being, I'll just have this, if that is ultimately okay. Okay, we're going to move back to the arm here. Got some more bits of feathering in here. Now what I might do real quick is just throw in some darker shadows with, bonking my sketch pad here. Some darker shadows with, pardon me while I dig again. Where is that pen? Aha! There we go, found it in ample time. Ample indeed. Okay, so we're just going to use this fella here. It's a wonderful brush pen and works wonders for drawing shadows and things like that. But it takes quite a bit of time to get the hang of it. So I'm just going to start drawing in some darker shadows here. When you really see a master at work with one of these tools, it's very impressive to see. Because they're so adept at making it look really proper, bringing the characters to life. I'm still just on my way of getting the hang of it, I suppose. Also add some highlights to the hair as well. Here, let's zoom in again here and work on the face a bit more. Looks alright. hand's shadow is getting in here a little bit too much, a little more than I'd like, but it's not terrible. There, nice thick shadow there by the neck. There we go. Yeah. I just kind of don't mind the sound of the sketchbook kind of moving around a bit. It's kind of nice. Yeah. Okay, we're going to work a bit on the leg again here. This is going to make to be kind of a longer video for sure, but I think that's kind of the point. Here. All right. Well, excuse me. Struggling to see kind of what else I want to add to this here. Just pardon me while I change out a pen here. I'll just play around a little bit more. In the 90s, a lot of the artists would add a lot of belts around the legs and a lot of pouches and things. something like that. Another sip of coffee here. And that is regrettably a bit cold now. Okay, well, we're just going to keep trying. Alright, to be honest, I think we're done messing around with the legs here for the most part, but it is what it is. And I think that will about do it, to be honest, and maybe we'll do a more in-depth drawing another time, depending on how well this does, and well, you know what, no, I'll just keep doing more. I'll keep doing more and just, hopefully people will like it. But thank you for joining me today, and we will perhaps work on something a little bigger next time. And with that being said, sayonara. Thanks for helping me out here, joining in, and well, you have a wonderful day, and cheers.